Hello and welcome to this short video. Over the next few moments, we'll demonstrate AgilePoint working side by side with UiPath and show you how AgilePoint can bring enterprise governance and an ability to scale to your robot deployment. Now for today's demo, we've paired an AgilePoint process with UiPath, a leading RPA provider, but you can think of this scenario as being broadly applicable to many RPA solutions. Now for today's process, you'll see here we're starting off with a human task where data will be submitted and then reviewed by a supervisor. Upon approval, we're going to assemble a document using the application data and we'll merge that into a Word template. After our document has been created, we'll send that for digital signature via DocuSign. And then a little further down here, you'll see a number of UiPath related process activities. The first here will turn my robot on and drop an item in its queue. As the robot is executing, AgilePoint will be monitoring the status. If the robot enters a faulted state, you'll see we have a task below to manually resolve the exception. This really speaks to one of the major challenges of scaling a robot deployment, because as we all know, robots can fail for any number of reasons. The target system could be unavailable. The robot could have difficulty in understanding the data that it's supposed to be writing. In any case, there are a number of reasons why our robot could fail. So this ability to automatically, gracefully handle exceptions will give you an ability to more easily scale your robot deployment and realize the value and promise of RPA. So let's start running the application. Now what you're seeing here is AgilePoint's responsive form technology, and to populate the field on my form, I'm going to attach an Excel document. As you're seeing here, when I do this, AgilePoint pulls out all of the values from the Excel sheet and pre-populates the form on my behalf. Okay, so let's submit this. In just a moment, I'll receive an email notification that I have a task to complete. Now for the sake of simplicity here, I'll play all roles just to minimize the need to log in and log out. And so that we can follow along with the process, I'll click on the process viewer. Now, if I go back to the notification here, I can open the task from my inbox. Alternatively, I can always go to my AgilePoint inbox. Now at this step in the process, everything has been marked read-only. So as a supervisor, I simply approve or reject this step in the workflow. So let's approve that and then go back to our process viewer and follow along. Okay, so we've created the template and we've now sent that out for digital signature. So that DocuSign request is now in my inbox here. And I'll place my signature to move the process forward. So in just a second, you'll see RPA take over, right? So this is a great example of humans and robots working side by side. And in just another moment, we'll show you that exception handling scenario. So here, RPA is writing to a WinForm application, and in just another moment, we'll bring up a website and do the same. Now to simulate that exception scenario here, I'll simply close my browser. And in just another minute, once AgilePoint realizes that my robot has faulted, we'll see the human task begin to light up. Now, I do want to point out that there's a couple of ways of governing and scaling your robot deployment. Right, we've taken one approach here where we have an AgilePoint activity that is automatically looking at the status of the robots. Right, alternatively, if your robot does reach a faulted state, there is an app in the UiPath Go store to automatically initiate an AgilePoint process. Right, so you have the ability to manage these exceptions both from AgilePoint, right, where we're checking the status of the robot, as well as from the UiPath side to automatically initiate a new process instance based on some event on the UiPath side. So as we were talking here, you're seeing that this robot exception handling step has now become active. So I'll refresh my task list here and open up that task item. Now optionally, I might make some changes to the data here, look at the document that's been attached. But for the sake of our demonstration here, let's just rerun the job. So again, in just another moment here, the robot will take over and begin writing data to those two systems. So in summary, what you've seen here, right, is for one, the future of work scenario where humans and robots work side by side with one another to accomplish business outcomes. And the second is AgilePoint bringing enterprise-class governance and scalability to your robot deployment. Right, now in this case here, the example centered around exception handling, right? But you can think of all of the different scenarios where AgilePoint is orchestrating a larger business process and in simply invoking UiPath or any other RPA solution at the appropriate time. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time.